go. Hi everybody, Mike with Ice, Water, and Laundromats. Putting together a few videos. Seems like most of the time when I run into people and they find out what I do or the businesses I have, there's a lot of interest in it. And if you have any questions, just drop them down in the comments. We'll see what I can answer or put together more content if you prefer. Alright, so here we are at ice machine number 1. Now this is a twice the ice vending machine. This is the largest machine they make. It has this particular machine has a 4,000 pound ice maker. They do make a 6,000 pound. This machine will hold up to around 6,000 to 6,500 pounds of ice for vending, and it's been a pretty busy weekend, so let's get to work, see what we got to take care of. All right, well, in we go. The way these machines work is this bin pretty much goes all the way to the back and all the way to the top. Got a rake system here in the front. And this rake will scrape the ice down to that auger, which will then take it over to that auger. Which takes it through the wall to the front. Uses a counterbalance system to fill up the bag, or to fill up that bin. Blower up here will hold that bag open, then drop the ice down in the bag, and the drop floor drops it out the front to the customer. That's pretty much the simple part of it, but if you notice, it's also a lot of complex systems working together. You got a rake, you've got a leveler at the top, you've got an auger across the bottom, an auger, the incline auger, then you have the pneumatic system that powers all the drop buckets, that powers the drop floor, as well as the teeter-totter and the drop buckets. And there's a slew of sensors on each one, so when something goes wrong, the fun part's finding out what went wrong. Okay, in our machines here, we sell vended filtered water as well as our filtered ice. So for our filtered water, we're just simply filtered. We're not purified. Some people will be like, hey, you know, they'll test the water and the TDS and all that stuff. Well, we're not an RO system. We simply filter the municipal water and send it out the front. The main reason we sell filtered water is just because we have to filter it in prep for our ice maker. And we don't want our ice maker gunked up with calcium and everything else. That's like a $30,000 investment. So with this system, I actually, every year when I go up to do my annuals, I've got zero calcium buildup on my tubes, on my halos, on the crusher. Everything is completely clean. All right, that took us probably about 20-25 minutes to clean up, stock new bags, hose down the inside and outside with disinfectant, just make sure everything's running right, make a few drops, and then also reset the bill acceptors and collect our money. So now we're off to ice maker number 2, or ice machine number 2. All right, here we are at machine number 2. This is our kiosk. It's a 12-foot kiosk, has the same size ice maker as the big ice maker. This machine is a prime example of why small machines don't work. This has a 2,000 pound bin in it, which we'll show you. We put this machine down. I was a little gun shy when we opened the second one, so I didn't order a big machine. I ordered this small machine with a small ice maker on it. And by March, I was pretty much sold out of ice every day. So ended up the next year putting a bigger ice maker, the biggest they had available for this machine at the time, on top. Literally doubled sales the first year, and don't sell out quite as often. I could probably still, there are days when I could still use the next size up ice maker on this, which they now have available for this machine. But in reality, if I just had gone with the big machine, wouldn't be having the issues that we have here. The other thing is you have to realize is, yes, you may be able to keep up with ice sales, but how taxing is that on your ice maker? This particular ice maker had $7 grand worth of repairs to it last year, because I think in part because it's just running non-stop to keep up with ice demand, which is another thing you have to think about. A lot of people will ask about the little small sidewalk machines. First of all, that's just a no for me, but we'll discuss that another time. But when you use the small machines, with the small ice bins, even if you have an adequate ice maker, you're taxing other parts harder to keep up. This one, the rakes, the bin floor motors, the incline motors, the blowers, this thing's had like 3 blowers put on it. It's just, it's one of those where get the big machine and get serious, because if you get a good location, you'll never regret the big machine. If you got a bad location, you can move it, but also the big machine will bring more money if you have to resell it. Okay, one thing about these machines, they are smaller, so they have no kind of service corridors in them like the big machine has. Even though it's not much of a corridor, the big machines are able to be serviced completely inside. These machines you service from the outside. Well, downside to that is you have to be outside the machine, depending on the neighborhood you're in, not necessarily where you want to be, because you know that makes you a target for anybody who wants to try to rob you or what have you, because there are people who think that these things hold millions in them. As you can see here, we also sell filtered water as well as our ice. This machine does not sell bulk ice where you drop it straight in your cooler. One of the reasons for that is this design just isn't able to incorporate that. But the upside is it has 2 different bag sizes we can bend through the same bag, so I don't have to spend more money on bags of a different size, and I can have 2 different price points to encourage more sales. Okay, we also have a couple ancillary add-on sales that we have here. One are the bottle caps for the jugs. We do a lot of refills on 5-gallon jugs here, and actually at $2 a pop, they're paying more for a cap than they are for 5 gallons of water. But we'll sell that thing out. Sometimes you'll be completely sold out. Other times you'll come in and only have 1 or 2 sold, but they do sell and they make money. It's pretty high margins on that. The other thing we have here is air. Yep, 75 cents for, I don't know how many minutes I give them to air up their tire, but we make pretty decent money off of that as well. Just different things you can add to your cells. Since I'm leasing this space and I have this area, really I try to find whatever I can put down in this square footage to make more money with. One of the things I've thought about is soda machines, other things that I might be able to put in, but whatever it is has to be kind of bulletproof so that it doesn't get broken into, because if you leave a vending machine out in the parking lot, trust me, it's going to be a target. Okay, this is the ice bin in the kiosk. As you can tell, it's not near as big as what was in the ice house, but this does have a Lexan cover, so you can kind of see the whole process here. And again, it's all in one room. We don't have a separate room for controls. But this is the multi-vin bagger. Each one of those sensors is set at 10 and 20 pounds. And that offers us the ability to have the multiple price points. We actually make better margins off the 10-pound bags than we do the 20-pound bags. And we price them accordingly. Which all prices are about to go up anyway, just because of the simple fact that everything else is going up in price. But this is the inside of the kiosks. Here things are a little bit easier to get to. Your rake motor is right here, bin floor motors behind this door, and this is probably the easiest part, because the incline motor on a ice house is down at the bottom underneath the bin, and you got very little room to reach. I just wish they'd incorporate that design to the ice houses. And that's how that works. Okay guys, this was a typical clean. Both machines took us like 15 to 30 minutes tops at both locations. That's a typical average day. But this machine right here, I've spent probably 16 to 18 hours on this week alone doing a yearly maintenance clean, which has to be done every year at every machine. We strip it completely out, sanitize the bin, scrub the floors, get everything done, clean your water systems. I mean, it's just a mile-long list of things to do. Then I've also had the unexpected repairs. Came up here to change out and realized one of my bill validators wasn't working. Well, that was great, except my spare bill validator was an hour away. So that ended up bringing me back down here for a second day. Had a ice maker freeze up on me. Well, when it froze up, the crusher motor burned up. So I had to replace the crusher motor. Thankfully, there was another ice house owner up the road doing his yearly maintenance and happened to have a spare crusher motor. So he gave that to me, and I had a new one shipped to his location. But the main reason I wanted to put all these videos out, or this video out, is just the simple fact that there's a lot of misinformation going around that you could start out in this business with just a small machine and you'll do great, and then also that this is an extremely passive income. Now, I'm self-employed and I only work these two machines in my laundromat, and I can tell you that I do work Monday through Friday, and I spend some time at each machine. If anything, just doing basic maintenance, cleaning, repairs, stuff like that. This is not some side hustle job that you're going to do and just make great money at, especially with little money in. These machines take quite a bit of money in, but they also, in the right locations, do produce very well. And now we're off to the laundromat. All right, we're here at the laundromat now. As you can see, this is our back room here. Pretty much not a whole lot to it. We're not a coin laundry, we're a cart laundry. So we don't have coin boxes on the floor. We don't have bill changers, stuff like that. Basically, you come in, you put your money or your credit card into our exchanger here, you get a laundry card, you use it at all the machines. I'm not filming out on the floor right now because we got a full house, which is pretty good for a Monday. But I know a lot of people are curious about money collection videos, stuff like that. Well, we don't have big quarter videos, but I'm about to show you what the total advantage is to a card store, because I think when we've all seen those quarter collection videos, we're like, wow, this goes on forever. Well, let's watch this. Let's see, that took basically 1 minute and 15 seconds. Full collection done. So no reshuffling money into a changer, no putting your quarters back, getting your cash out, then having to sort everything out. Take all that, throw it straight into my bill counter at the house. I know exactly what my deposit is for the month. And the upside is, this particular location, since we take credit card, that's only about 40% of our income. We actually do about 60% business in all credit cards. This location has done really well for us. It's been open for about a year. All right, guys, that gives you just a small peek inside the ice, water, and laundromat business. Just drop some comments down in the bottom if there's something you want to hear, see, or know about in the ice or water business or laundromats, and I'll see what I can answer for you. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.